Hey Geek Frost! Hi, my name is Anna and I'm a singer.
Hi, my name is Peyton and I'm a dancer.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back because one of our faves is having a comeback today, so of course we're doing a reaction video. 17 is back, everyone.
So 17 is back with their new release called Ready to Love. Obviously, we have watched the teasers leading up to this, so we kind of know what to expect, but let's just get to it. It's like super early and the music video just came out a few minutes ago, so let's go! We used to be friends?
Yeah. The color palette of this,
Yeah.
I really like it.
It's like slightly washed out.
Ooh.
Is that the right word?
Yeah. You okay? Friend, lover.
Oh, are they gonna be in different groups for the actual stage?
They've been using a lot more groups in their choreography recently.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna build. I love it.
Yeah, they're walking. Okay, that makes sense. I was wondering how that was gonna fit into the song after the teaser. The color of the bus. I'm obsessed with you.
Oh.
I like the
I like the accent in the dance.
when on that.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, what is that?
Is it gonna explode?
I know, that's what I was thinking. Oh. 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 That was really pretty. Oh, and then
Wow.
oh.
Oh, that was so pretty.
Oh, the song just ends like this.
Let's just get the obvious out of the way. 17 never disappoints. We always say we get nervous before a new 17 song because both of us have always liked everything they release. And so we're like, what if this is the one? It's never the one. 17 never disappoints. I did actually just get to watch a live stage of the performance, which was awesome because I got to confirm some things for the choreography, but it also, I think, showed me that this might be one of my favorite choreographies that they've done recently, just because of how interesting the composition of it is. But also, I feel like I say that at every 17 comeback too, like, oh, this is my favorite choreography they've done. But the way that the choreography is built is really interesting, and we mentioned during the reaction, like, oh, they're using groups, and they've been doing that a lot more recently, and I just confirmed that in the live stage. And so one thing I wanted to highlight specifically was the way the choruses are set up, and I noticed this in the music video, so I was really glad that I got to confirm it. The first chorus, obviously they're using multiple groups, like it starts out with the smaller group, and then it switches, and then they all sort of come in for the ending of the chorus. And so you feel that building, like you're feeling a building of emotions. And then the second chorus also has a similar effect where you're still feeling like the building of emotions, but it's bigger this time because they're all there for the whole chorus. But instead of switching groups, there's two groups that are doing different complementary choreographies at the same time. So there's a center group and a semicircle group. The choreographies are similar from the first chorus, but the center group is doing sort of a faster, more intricate one, while the semicircle is highlighting moments that the center is doing with their movement that's a little bit slower and a little bit more reserved. And then it sort of switches, but the groups are there the whole time. But then it builds finally into the last chorus where they're all together, and it starts with a jump, and it's just this like high tension choreography the whole time. And so you've really felt it from like small group all the way to full group for the whole chorus. And so you feel the progression of this emotion, of this determination, I guess. So I thought that was really interesting. Something I found really interesting about a lot of the choreography was that a lot of the accents are down, which I feel like you don't really expect with love songs usually. You expect it to be like up and light and floaty. There is a lot of floor work, so that's one thing, but there's also just a lot of downward movements. I thought it was especially interesting because the jump into the last chorus, the accent is down, which is not something you usually see for jumping. Like the way that I was reading it though was the phrase ready to love is a lot more clear-headed. It's a lot more decisive. It's not like, oh, I'm so full of this like first love, like love at first sight, like I'm about to float away. It's more like I'm making this decision, like I've decided that I'm ready to love you. And that's where the grounded feeling is really highlighted. And right, I was like, oh. I really enjoyed that change because I don't think you usually see it in love songs, but it was a really interesting choice for the meaning of this one. It also highlighted the high release at the end of the chorus when Mingyu does his "You Give Me Purpose," and they like high release up, and it's like this moment where you're accepting your feelings and you're like, I'm here, I'm ready. And the more grounded feeling is very contrasted with what you're seeing because it is like pastel, sort of washed out. Like a lot of them have the light hair. There's a lot of flowers. And so it's just this contrast of like visibly showing the way you think love makes you feel, where it's like pretty and sweet, but then the determination behind the choice that you're making. I really enjoyed this. I obviously focused on the dance, but I also really enjoyed the song. Like I enjoyed listening to it. I just can't articulate the reasons why it's interesting. And so for that, I'm gonna say Anna's turn.
Hello, so it's time for my comments. And I mean, Peyton already covered how nervous we get before every single 17 comeback. I mean, they haven't disappointed me for like 6 years straight so far, so it's all good. Minor fangirling aside, because if y'all don't know, 17 is actually my #1 K-pop group. That's out of the way! Comments! So, when I first heard what the song title was going to be, and then like they released the teaser images and got like the color scheme and the vibe of the comeback, I guess, first impressions, I was like, okay, the song's called Ready to Love, and like the more washed out colors made me think of a more like sweet, sentimental song. Ahaha! This is not that. I mean, lyrics-wise it is, but like when the teasers first came out and you could like kind of hear the song, I was like, oh, it's very like boom, 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 boom. The reason you get that though is because in the chorus, it's a very distorted synth bass. Extremely distorted. I was really taken aback when I first heard it. It's not like super, super deep where it gives a really grounding feeling and it's like dark, but because it's so distorted, it gives like a harsher edge to it. An edge to it, yes. So it's not like the super floaty, sweet, sentimental that you're thinking of, but there's like an edge to it, which works with Peyton's description of like the determination, because it's like, I've decided. Yes. But then obviously the more like sentimental that I was thinking of when I first heard the title happens during like the verses and the bridge. For one thing, the really distorted, harsher bass is not there. Instead, it's just like the drum kick bass sort of sound and then a hit instead. Also, it's only outlining like the 1, 2, 3, 4, whereas in the chorus obviously it picks up like sort of double time. You get the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and also in the verses you get hints of that like singular guitar line happening. It's really rising through. Sometimes it's just strumming, but there are other times where it's like moving the singular line, and that's sort of like, besides the melody that they're singing, the main moving line, which is sort of like in my mind it's like, oh, their feelings and emotions are growing, and then they finally realize in the chorus, like, yeah, I got feels for my friend. Kind of talking about the beat though, I mentioned that like it's very 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and in the chorus, whereas in like I believe the pre-chorus, I don't think so much the verses, the beat is different, so it's more like rhythmic, which I think is interesting because I read the like description box, whole description of the music video, and it was like an R&B driven pop track, and I was like, okay, yeah, this song is definitely pop, but I guess those sort of more like rhythmic moments and like the pre-chorus or verses are considered the R&B inspired parts. And then lastly, harmonies. Oh my gosh, do you hear all the beautiful harmonies? Like very, very high upper harmonies in the chorus, because they can be kind of drowned out by like the overwhelming synth that I mentioned, but it's so beautiful. And I was like, oh, why is it so much higher? And it's like, oh, the love. And then the beautiful ooze in the bridge, I'll never get over it because it's like the multiple layers instead of just like 2. Anyways, I love 17.
Just a little bit, right?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I figured you would TLDR.
Oh, yes. So
Yeah.
it's my turn to TLDR. So TLDR is 17 is back with a new single called Ready to Love, and we are so ready to listen to the rest of the songs on the single album. I can't believe it's been like 8-9 months since Semicolon. That's wild. But we also saw that Jungkook will be limiting his promotions because of health reasons, so hope he feels better soon, but is also getting the proper rest that he needs. Yes. But yeah, to no one's surprise, we love it. And okay, I'm done now.
Alright, well, obviously we loved this. If you can't tell by both of our comments, if you would like to talk with us more about it, you can find our social medias linked in the cards. And if you enjoyed this video, then please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notification bell. And bye!